to my live show. Let's hope the internet holds out today, or whatever goes wrong doesn't happen too much. I'm looking forward to lots of amazing questions from you, amazing people that always I do this show over and over and over, and you think, how could I just keep going on? It's entirely because you people have these incredible, phenomenal, amazing questions. So before the questions start getting out there, I want to see that there's a Sasquatch behind me. It's a beautiful brass behind me. Hello, Regina Davis. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, the goal right now, what I'm working on is getting the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center together. If you'd like to help out with that, you can do so by going and making a donation on my website. It's www.discoveringbigfoot.org. Hello, everybody coming on. Um, we're close. I have to put some time in. I have to do lots of work, a lot of things going on, and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, they want Discovering Bigfoot too. So working on that negotiation, and no promises. We'll see what happens. It's not really about me. It's up to the distributors and people. It's hard dealing with networks because they're these people that live in glass houses and throw rocks. Is the best way I'd like to explain them. So I'm laughing because I just read 97 Bronx asked me, "Does Bigfoot throw feces at you?" No. No, no. If they did, I would probably grab it and have it analyzed as DNA, right? Can we be funny today? Can we have some fun with this stuff? So I think it was a pretty funny question, but don't really know how to explain it. It's like you're sharing your thoughts, I guess. I mean, I'm no expert. I am no expert. So I'm trying to learn about that stuff, and it's hard. I don't know. There's a Third Eye Spy documentary that talks a lot about how these people are really um, doing they're spying and doing things. There's the name for remote viewing. So that kind of ties into mind speak and psychic abilities, and these things are real. I don't care if you think this is paranormal stuff. Get over yourself. They're teaching this stuff in universities. Big time knowledge about it. So it's real, and it's just another advantage that I'd like to work on. But what's it like? That's such a good question. The what and for no reason, you feel like you're being watched, and you look over, and there was somebody looking at you. You have to understand when that happens, and it's happened to everybody I've ever asked. Said, yeah, I've had that happen. That's what mind speaks like. It's like a feeling you get, and you have this urge to do things or perceive things. Maybe it's a little stronger than that, but that's what it is to me. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. Ambilino, thank you very much for your donation, sir. Do you have a question? Love to answer your question, sir. Thanks so much for your donation. This stuff really helps, guys. You want that research center? A research center is full time. I mean, somebody's always going to be out there doing research, gathering data, watching where the Sasquatch are, monitoring the tracks. It's so important. It's so important. If you love Sasquatch, you love this discovery. I mean, you could do like a monthly donation. At this point, $5 a month matters, But I usually tell people, though, honestly, if your bills are that tight, if $20 a month isn't easily affordable for you, then just share my videos and tell people about what's going on, and help out in other ways by telling people. So enjoyed your documentary, says Dave DeRoy. Enjoyed your documentary. It's in it. Which scenes are reenactments? Well, Dave, every time, like as an example, um, when you see like the time when I'm looking at the Sasquatch up in a tree on the thermal, obviously, or the shot where I walk up the hill before I go see video 8. Well, obviously I was completely alone and by myself, so there's no cutaway shot of me walking up the hill after. But I wear the same equipment, I have the same camera in my hands, and it's I don't know if it's a reenactment so much as it's just getting cutaway shots to, like, Survivor Man will do that, and that's not unethical in that, like, he'll walk down an area and almost fall and slip. It's icy, and it says, "Oh, that was hard." So he drops the camera down there. He walks back up, and then he walks down again. So that's the only way you can shoot by yourself. That's the only way you can go solo. So, and you have to tell a story appropriately where people can understand it. So, thank you, Alberto, for your compliment. Thank you. People are amazing. People do amazing things, and I just think that's wonderful. Northern Idaho, Saskatchewan, learning. It's about taking that tool and showing people what's going on. Use it as a tool. Take discovering, take that and show people that's what's going on. People are going out and live interacting with and seeing Sasquatch. So and thanks for all the compliments, Jonathan Witten. Is that Jonathan Witten? Who I think it is, Jonathan Witten. What's up, dude? Jonathan Witten, ranger, tough as nails, friend of mine that I've taken on an expedition, and dude's tough as it comes. He's one of my expeditioners. He's one of the men that challenged me to go out and live interact with the Sasquatch. And we had an incredible expedition, and it was an amazing collaboration. And I tell you, these expeditioners, man, they're becoming my. When you go out, it have to be that way. Has to be. Everybody has input. Everybody has something to say, and we go out as a cooperative team. When you go through that stress, and when you go through all that turmoil and all the difficulty of an expedition. It's always hard. You think these expeditions are hard. You're going to bleed. You're going to suffer. You're going to feel pain. It's tough. And you, as a cooperation, you go out and survive together. And when you do that, you build relationships and you really see what people are made of. Jonathan got charged at by a Sasquatch, right? And he knows a Sasquatch came charging at us, smashed over a tree. It was pretty exciting. We didn't see it, but the evidence was there later that was discovered and substantiated it. But what happened when Jonathan got charged by Sasquatch? Boy had my back. He was like, he picked up that shotgun like a trained U.S. Ranger, and was ready to go to town because that turned out it was a Sasquatch. And I turned around and I looked, and there was Jonathan right on one shoulder, and the other kid, Cody, tough as nails, with a freaking knife in his hand. Like anything touches us, there's gonna be blood. And how did I find people like that to go on expedition with? It's a miracle, and I love these guys. Like these just have become my brothers, and I don't know what to say. So, how'd you get footage of you running down the hill away from the Bigfoot? Did you see? If there was me running down the hill away from the Bigfoot, it's a cutaway shot. So, and there are cutaway shots in it. It's the way it is. There has to be cutaway shots. In fact, what I'll do is after I get my footage that has actually transpired for the events that have gone on, I get a shot list and I go get those shots and I go wear the same stuff and use the same equipment, but just so people can know, what actually happened, because obviously I can't film it. I'm completely alone. And if I don't go film it, there's no storyline. What am I going to stand there like this and go, so I walked over here and did this? No, it's not okay to do that. You go get the shots, you make it so people can see. And I went to the same spots. I went to the same spots in the same location, and got one good camera angle. And yeah, so that's what I did with that. If they're spying, they know they're real. Military uses it. Survivor said he had before, absolutely. Yeah, Les has experienced Sasquatch a couple times before, and those experiences are online. Don't take my word for it. Go talk to Survivor Man. Pretty amazing stuff. Remote viewing, Sasquatch, extraterrestrial is the way I explain it. Okay. What is Bigfoot's favorite snacks to leave for them? I don't know. I just give them apple. I give them apples because I find apples are a very indigenous food source, right? It's very local. It's not something extreme or weird to them. My Sasquatch wouldn't know what the heck an orange is. Certainly not a banana. And bananas are. You got to know you got to kind of have a good idea what you're doing. If you throw bananas out there, and let's say a Sasquatch knows well enough to peel the banana and toss the peel, but then a deer goes and eats the peel because it smells good and it damages their belly. So that's not a natural thing to have out there. So try to stick with regions, or they can. I have never seen wild apples. I think the apple trees get their butts kicked by the Rocky Mountain Douglas firs, but they could grow wild out here. Had an encounter, says Kazar Daily Vlogs for you. Had an encounter with a 2.5-foot baby monkey looking kid. He was sleeping in the bush when I decided to rest and heard it growl in the bush, and then it looked away. I saw this. I held him and tried stroking him. Okay, that's pretty profound. Sway by the force, Sasquatch breathe. Yeah, thanks for that. Do you think portions of the government know? Well, yeah, the government knows Sasquatch exists. I think they do. I strongly feel they worked for the government. So, but are they telling the truth? I don't like paranormal conspiracy. So you're just losing legitimacy, right? So the truth is, I don't really know. It's right. There's nothing more I can do about that. Are they going to admit it? Is the question? Of course not. So not until they're forced to. So Titan the Savage Cabbage. That rhymes. So me and my brother were working on an awning for my grandparents' house, and they live deep in Oregon woods, and we decided to do some howls. Responded. Yeah, and was it a wolf? Was it a coyote? What makes you think it was a Sasquatch? And if you heard something howl at you, that's not good enough. I'm not gonna lie, it's not good enough. On my expeditions, if we see a Sasquatch, we go look, we go find substantiation, right? We go find more evidence to make it a fact. Tracks in the ground, and they saw a big Sasquatch and a small Sasquatch. Spot where the big Sasquatch is big Sasquatch tracks, and the spot where the small Sasquatch was are small Sasquatch tracks. And two people saw that. That's a fact. That was a Sasquatch sighting. They saw a Sasquatch. Have a good day. And that happens on my expeditions 30% of the time. Discovering Bigfoot movie. Oh, thanks. I thought you said that already. Hey Todd, a good time there. I think I'm going back, guys. I think I have to go. I have to do stuff in Washington. But man, I loved Washington. You know what I loved more though? The terrain is gorgeous and amazing, like mind blowing, amazing. And I'm used to that, but it's another level of something special in Washington State. It's the people. It's Larry Buzzle and Analia and the people that I met there, the locals. They're amazing. I love that place. Those people are just outstanding. I can't say enough good things about them. It was such a wonderful experience, and it's the people that made it so rich for me. So, Oakley Bates, this is the first time I've caught you live in the UK. What are your achieve? What you've achieved is incredible, and I respect your work so much. Well, thanks, Oakley. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Respect back to you, sir. Remember, we're all people. We do this together, right? So I feel like I've got my evidence, and I do it to help move this discovery forward for us, for people. So it's for all of us, right? What do you think of Bobo? He's an actual researcher or just Indian? Your thoughts? No comment. Bobo was really nice to me when I first met him, and he showed respect when Finding Bigfoot came out. He was the only one that showed decent respect for me, and then now he's just saying weird stuff. So I take the high road on that one. So yeah. Hi Todd, what's up? Hey Andrew, Frank, you the man. Thank you guys. Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Questions. That's awesome. Amazing. How do they look so different? Thank you for showing up again. How Todd? How close is it you got to them? Contact you. So Sasquatch standing with his back to you was freaking. It wasn't that crazy, dude. Northern Idaho was talking about the Sasquatch that had his back to me. Man, he was so big. He was so big. People say I was brave because I kept stepping forward. I was just in shock. I didn't know what to do. I was almost stunned, for lack of a better word. But it's cold. I've been out there in -20 for I don't know how long, days, freezing my butt off. My brain's numb. But I got to move forward. I mean, what's the point? Do you know how hard it is, how expensive it is, how much time it takes? I go on expeditions way more often than I succeed. And getting footage like that is incredible. If I can't, after the thousands of days I spent out there, I mean, that's video 6 he's talking about, the Sasquatch to me, and I get a log thrown at me that takes me out. I'll tell you something. If you're not going to move forward after all the time and all the money and all the investment in my life that I will never get back, all the crap I've gone through, if you're going to not step forward after all that, you got to go do something else. And that's why I do it. Because I've 1,000 days out there, and I know how important it is to keep moving forward and to push through no matter what. That's the deal. That's the promise I make myself. No matter how scared I get, it doesn't matter. You step your ass forward or you quit. You get this done or you go home. That, I don't know. Do you understand? It has to be that way. It can't be any other way. It's got to be like that. So, yeah, I hope that helps you understand. Very bad shot. Todd, how do you think your court case will draw attention to trophy hunters to Bigfoot? I'm not worried about trophy hunters. Not worried about them. They're I'll talk to them. They'll quit. You don't. Trophy hunters are, you go after bighorns and elk, and that's like, forget about it. Sasquatch are like, if you're like, and you get a little more difficult with the foxes and the coyotes and higher up predators, the bears, a little less likely to see. And the deer, like trophy deer, that's what people go after them because it's so hard to get around. But you're still as high up a level as you get. You got to go like 3 more levels before you get to the Sasquatch. And and then go try to hunt one and die. So you're gonna die. Sorry, trophy hunter, go out there, you're gonna die. You try to take a shot at a Sasquatch, you're never gonna get near them. I can't see how they could ever get near a Sasquatch. I'm just telling you. I've been out with some of the best in the world. I've seen the best of the best of the best. I don't think they could hold a candle. Not even a candle in a hurricane to what Sasquatch are capable of, how they can move, how they know what's going on. You have to fool the squirrels, the birds, the deer, everything to get past the Sasquatch. And they're going to see you drive in. I don't know. They know their terrain. They know every rock, nook, and cranny. You don't, and just the infrasound, the abilities they have, the way they cooperate and move together. You're so over your head. Don't go hunt a Sasquatch, please. Oh my God. It's just like, no, it's not going to happen. I'm getting no glitching here, guys. Everything looks good. I'm sorry you're seeing that. To take to be in an expedition, go to my website, discoveringbigfoot.org, and apply on the expedition page. Expeditions are doing good. We're doing good. They're, yeah. Protect Todd at all costs, everybody. Okay, Frank. I think I'm doing pretty good. I don't think I need any protection, but thanks for it. I'm flipping. I'm flipping. Do it with you, brother. Okay. I don't know what that means. In search and rest, people are so yucky. Why, when you have like elk and deer and all these beautiful animals that are pure, eating grass and drinking beautiful water, why would you want to go eat some toxic human being that are nasty? Ugh, no, people are disgusting. So you'd never eat that. If you know about meat, and the white-tailed deer are beautiful because they eat beautiful things. You get into the mule deer and they sort of start eating muckier, less tasty vegetation, but they're still eating beautiful vegetation. And I don't like mule deer. Human? Ooh. So Steve asks, I've had numerous experiences with the family for over a decade. My last encounter, I discovered a new one, definitively part of the family. Eyes are completely different color. Well, Steve, I'd love for you go to what do we have at bigfootencounter@gmail.com. I'd love to hear about that stuff. Congratulations on your success. That's amazing. Hey Todd, if you have the time, can you give any more advice on should I stay clear of the area that I experienced severe infrasound? Do you think, do you feel it's a warning maybe? You know what, Robbie, do it. Get back out there. No, don't. Just keep trying. I don't know. What did you do wrong? Be nicer. Show more serenity. Go in. Learn. They're your teachers. And as hard as it is, because it's hard to figure out what they're trying to teach you, just get back out there. Um, and I'm afraid. I don't know. Do it or don't. If you're afraid, maybe don't. I don't know. Maybe this is bad advice. You don't want to live in fear, though. I'm afraid I still do it sometimes. I don't know. So that's how you. If it's not something that you're afraid of, you're not doing anything great. You know what I mean? You got to do things that scare you, otherwise, you're not doing great things, and you won't live an exciting life. So, that's what I have to say about that. So, Bigfoot Live. Ashley, what are the areas of Washington have you seen Sasquatch? If you don't, talk about one area, but and I'm not sure. I'm pretty. I saw the eyes of a Sasquatch come up to the camp when we were out. Me and two other expeditioners in Washington. See, I saw green eyes come out, blink, and move, and then the next day we went to that spot, saw a definitive track on the ground. So that's a pretty, with two substantiations with the war to really hammer it out, because I was the only one in the expedition that saw it. But the expeditioners were not responsible for my safety. I was responsible for theirs. So I have a tendency to stay up and be more attentive. And plus, I have more wilderness expertise, and I can feel. And I had that funny feeling like I was being watched. I look over there, I see green eyes watching me, and they blinked and moved. And I yelled to the expeditioners to get up. And so, that's what happened in Washington. But like I was saying, other than that, I can't really talk about their Washington experiences. So, it's so beautiful. I just loved it there. Thanks, Carrie. Your love. I love you guys are amazing. Good day from down under. I love Australia. Damn, I'm going to be on the Hamish and Andy show. And if you're not from Australia, you don't know who they are. They're very famous in Australia. They came out and did a one-day expedition with me. So not a lot happened in the one-day expedition in spring, but they're fun guys, and they're they had a good time, and it was fun. So cool, good for them. Just saw your live. Glad to see it. Thanks, Blue. Show the statue behind you, please. Oh, cool. Where is it? This is gorgeous. This is yeah, isn't that, look at that statue. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh man. And all the way around, Paul Lauren. He's on my Facebook page. And I'm going to do something. I got to do some marketing and stuff, do some tracks. Isn't that gorgeous though? This is just such a beautiful thing. It's on a super heavy, it's on a heavy piece of wood. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. It's such a wonderful piece of art. I love art. The art of Sasquatch, right? Literally the art of Sasquatch. So it's going for $400 is what it's worth. Uh, Plus shipping, and it's a lot to ship it because it's a beast to ship. So anyways, yeah, there'll be lots of stuff like that coming up eventually. I'm really remiss about not doing more of the merchandising and stuff like that. People want it, so I don't know. We'll get to it. Do you think they make mistakes? Sasquatch? Absolutely. Sure. When I think they made a mistake watching my movie Discovering Bigfoot change for me to turn around, and I heard what I think was a Sasquatch injuring itself. I heard a Sasquatch like it hurt itself, and yeah, so I turned around and they'll jam their arms on things. Sure, they get scratches and bumps and everything. So yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And you said whatever someone wants to come with you, you'd give them advice on diet about a week ahead so they can get rid of bodily toxins. That's absolutely true. Especially, I haven't been doing it so much in the Nordic expeditions and stuff with some people, just because they've been a little bit easier as far as the expeditions are. But this year, some people are going to do some pretty hardcore stuff. And yeah, I want them to get clean because the Sasquatch need to know that you're clean. If you're toxic, I don't know if you can understand this, but man, everything matters to these beings. They're going to smell you. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, they want to see that you're not toxic. They want to see that you're clean, that you take care of yourself. How, even enough to take care of yourself. Does that make sense? How to love yourself, um, take care of yourself, please. Uh, you know, and they'll see that you gotta have self-love, right? So I don't know, it matters. I tell people train hard. The more they train, the better fitness they're in, the better expedition they'll have, right? So chain reaction says, yeah, isn't $400 fair? I think it's totally fair. It's a beautiful work of art. So it's so detailed. Look, this is rich. It's richly detailed. Wow. So, so buy it. Well, if you want to buy it, send me an email at northbigfoot@gmail, and you can get it directly from Paul. I'll definitely be happy to pass that on. Yeah. So most people aren't on Facebook, but yeah, I'd love to start doing that stuff. So Pennsylvania, we're in a third spot for sightings in the country. That's cool. Yeah, good for you. That's amazing. Rich, and they smash it into the ground. It's amazing the way they do that. Totally amazing. Have you ever found a Bigfoot den? I don't know. I think I have. Yeah, I think I have once or twice. I think so. Um, did you offer the injured Bigfoot assistance? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh no, no. He just like, uh, Sm- is that Smedley Do Right? No, 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 no. He just kind of like hurt himself where he caught himself on a branch and hurt himself. So no, he didn't need my help. He just went, yeah, like he hurt himself. I think. I mean, that's my theory, anyways. Love your show. Watch it from Utah. I love Utah. I do. Do you think males do the hunting and females gather berries, vegetation, bring home? Do you think they stock up on food? Yeah, I know they're gatherers. So a colleague of mine, Randy, he showed me and proved to me that the Sasquatch take the salmon up to altitude, wrap it in the sphagnum moss, and put it in the permafrost and freeze it. So that's gathering, man. And nothing does that. Nothing. So yeah, thanks, Danielle. If Paul wants it, what I would tell Raul is just again go to northbigfoot@gmail.com, and if you could put that up, Daniel, I'd appreciate that. And then if he just goes in, and I'll just send him a link to Paul, the guy who makes these, and he can go get it done for you, right? So hey, happiest wife ever. You should come. I'm really hated at conventions though, because I'm controversial because I have footage. When Jeff goes, it's not his, so he can just say, well, if you hate it, it's not mine, right? And same thing with John. John picked that up too, where he can, be more beloved because he doesn't have footage out there that's either real or not real. That makes you very controversial, and there's a lot of hatred that goes on in those things. So I think if I did conferences, honestly, or conventions, I'd just do my own, do the Discovering Bigfoot convention. I'd invite like, some local people. That's my plan to do anyways. Invite some local people, and then, you know, go have them speak, and listen to them speak, and maybe talk with them, and then do my presentation at the end. Because I have so much. Believe me, I could talk about Sasquatch. Holy crap. I was at the Sasquatch Summit. I mean, there are lots of haters and stuff there, but I don't fear them. They can come talk to me, and I don't sitting down and being interactive with people and talking and answering questions just like this. I love that stuff. It makes like I can talk about Sasquatch, but for 20 hours, 100, I don't know. When I do expeditions with people, we're up for 7 days, and people just grill me and ask me questions, and we talk and talk and talk. And I'll tell you, I've had people come up with multiple expeditions, and it's always new stuff. There's always so much. So, and this is not like a one-off, guys. He can make many of these. So he's got the sculptures all can be redone and stuff, right? Do you think they're blind and deaf Sasquatches? Yeah, good question. I don't know. So I have no idea. Have you ever seen them sign with another to communicate, or it's almost theory, but there's stuff going on, and I saw that in when one Sasquatch was alerted to our presence, immediately the other one was that was too far away to have made any sounds or seen visually. So I think they can talk, and maybe it's infrasound. I don't know. Maybe it's not so paranormal. I don't know, but I've really seen a lot of evidence to show that they just communicate with each other. It's got to be ESP or something like that. Can you imagine that advantage? Can you imagine how honest they'd be? I think it's a problem with the Sasquatch trying to understand us is if they could communicate like that, let's just say theoretically they can. They couldn't lie to each other. They would never see each other. So when I see a Sasquatch and I go back to humankind and I have evidence and I tell people I've seen them, and they say, "You're lying. I don't believe you." Would they understand that nobody believes me? They'd be like, "But you told them we were real." And I go, "But people don't believe me." And why wouldn't they believe you? You told them that. And then I would have to say, "Well, we deceive each other." And they go, "Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you be honest with each other?" And I don't think they would really get that concept. So I think they're getting that we're pretty ignorant. Somebody comes along and sees tree breaks in a structure and goes, "Oh, that's weird." It's not weird, dude. It's impossible. It's Sasquatch, and people still do that. I see wilderness guides do it all the time. I saw this hunter who's a guide, 30 years experience. He walked into an area where the Sasquatch went nuts and busted and ripped trees out, made breaks in a structure. He's like, "Wow, this is strange. Strange. Look at the ground. There's tracks all over the place. Like, get over your paradigm, man. They're real." So what do you think of the Zana, the White Russian woman case? I don't know. I don't know. Thanks for the push to get back out there, Todd, because that's what I need. In fact, if they wanted to harm me easily, they could have. That's right. That's right, dude. They could have killed you. You never would have gotten back out there. So, and that's a good perspective, dude. If they want you dead, take your last breath, go, and that's about all you're going to get. You're going to die that fast. So be careful, please. Use caution. Take a tracking device. Don't get lost. There's tracking devices now for, $500-600 that you can send text with. They have emergency buttons on the side. You've got to take care of yourself, man. Please take care of yourself. Don't go missing, for God's sake. I hate looking for missing people. I don't hate many things. You'll rarely see me say that word, but man, I hate it when people go missing. I hate walking along and looking for a body, searching for signs of distress and then finding that distress and then I found bodies before. It's a gosh darn nightmare. It's horrible. It's horror. These are words that people throw around every day. Hate. I hate finding dead bodies. That's maybe it's not. It's horror to me. That word horror. I know what that word means. I understand horror. I won't throw that word around. And finding a body that's died is horror, and it's terrible. And I've seen bodies that have been half eaten by bears and chewed on and ripped. It's just terrible. So I don't. Please take care of yourself. Do what you can. Tell people where you're going. Learn and don't jump in. Immerse yourself slowly. Be really careful. The wilderness is dangerous. You can get lost. There's 100 things that can go wrong. Getting lost, I think, is the worst thing. So I had a thing this year or last year where I thought I might be lost. I was a little nervous. I was like, "Oh my God," because I was with a firefighter, and dude's just so tough, like just so tough. So we went way, like I was like, we're just gonna go until we're gonna go and go. And we went fast and we hiked good and we were seeing lots of Sasquatch sign. And I just turned around and came back and I was following my line properly, but it just seemed like it was taking so long to get back, and I was starting to get scared and start thinking, damn, like, holy cow, if I had a GPS or something. I didn't even have a compass on me that day because I'm so confident in my abilities. We ended up precisely where we were precisely where I thought we were. It just took, instead of like 5 miles back was like, actually instead of 8 miles back, it was like 12. It was so far we went that day. It was crazy, but we were moving fast and trucking along. And just that moment though, where I was losing stuff, but I don't know. It's really scary to get lost. It's terrifying. That was the first mountains and stuff. And where we were in Nordegg, The mountains all looked the same. There was no creeks. There was no water sources I could hear. It was nothing. And then you can't get to the top of the hill, the mountains, because they're round and you can't really see. You get on top, you climb a tree, and you can't see past the next tree. So it's just so scary to think about that hour or two where I thought there's potential that I have lost, that we've gotten lost. And actually, there isn't potential for that. That's a lie too. I just follow my tracks back. It'd be like a hell of a stupid long way, but I can track myself back. And 100% I could track myself back. But the thing is, I'd be spending the night out there like a twit, even knowing that I can get back and knowing I'm not really lost, the fact that I'm just momentarily a little displaced, it was scary. I couldn't imagine definitively being lost. Like, I love the wilderness. I'm a wilderness expert. And if for me to get lost out there and like that, that would be so terrifying, dude. Be careful, please. You, you think about it, the theory of it, oh, it'd be pretty scary. No, it would be bloody hella terrifying to be lost in the world. It would be absolutely terrifying. Be careful. Be extremely cautious. Ridiculous things. They start going in circles. Oh my God. Be so careful, please. Hey, Todd, I just got out here and I'd like to still know if you have noticed Bigfoot smelling like sulfur or some other type of smell you can describe. They smell like gorillas to me. It's like very primate. I don't, not sulfur. I think what a lot of people can smell is they get that rotten eggs. There's a difference between an acute smell of the Sasquatch, which means he's smelling right now. So it's momentarily, urine will literally drip out of his pores. You can see it actually coming out. And the chronic odor is a Sasquatch that's going to be running around all over the place looking for a female, pissed off and fighting all the time. And I don't run into chronic Sasquatches twice in my life, I think, where I smelled that chronic old smell. There was more of a sulfury old smell of that primate odor that I know. So when you're around family groups and you're doing things that are repeatable and you're in a particular area, it's the acute smell, the fresh smell you're going to get. And and that smells so much like gorillas. Do you have more footage like the Netflix movie? But will I get more this year? I don't know. That you with your tire, but I've considered trying to find another first. I know the first time was serendipity with your tire. With your tire, what's he saying? There's something sneaky going on here. But I, but I have, but have you considered trying to find another First Nations mentor? Just honestly, Jonathan, I'm at a level of tracking skill where there's only one person I've ever even heard of or know of in any legend that is really going to teach me at all. And he does teach me. So I still do have a native teacher, and he's younger than me, but he's got a gift. He feels the energy. He's amazing and incredible. He's going through hard times though because he's confused about life. I'm his mentor as like a life coach, which is much more important than tracking. He just takes his skills for granted, and he's messing up his life really bad. And it's really sad. A lot of native people do that. They get depressed and they get down about things, and it sucks. So I'm trying to get him back in my life so we can help each other. We mentor each other. I have a lot of I can deal with negativity really well. I always have, and but yeah, so we need to be a team, and I need to get him to do stuff with me again. And I'm working on that. We still do that stuff. The deal is, if I go missing, this native tracker goes and finds me. And as long as I'm not abducted by Sasquatch, he'll go find me. So that was important for my family to know. My husband and I can eat clean. We really want to go on an expedition. Well, Daisy, go to my website, discoveringbigfoot.org. And on the expedition page, apply there. Read everything, have a look through, watch the videos, because it's no joke. It's a real deal. So I believe the one that my friends encountered was deaf. Oh, very interesting. Make sure you go to Bigfoot Encounters at Gmail and tell us about that. Or go to the forum. Just at 150 was Sasquatch. Well, I'm glad you're convinced it was. The screams are very convincing. Very convincing. I'm telling people, like nothing. When you hear like it's not just. So you'd say the skeptic would say, well, it's just a person. People can't scream that loud. I'm telling you. When you look and this is happening like a kilometer away and it's paralyzingly loud, I'm telling you, people can't make that kind of, like, I'm talking like 4 or 5 times what a human can make. And then the skeptic would say, well, you could do it with a megaphone or some specialty device. And maybe you're right. But what I heard is no megaphone. It's powerful. It's deep. It's bass. It's a sound you can feel. And so what Rich is talking about, I think maybe it's profound. It's pretty convincing. So the problem is, to substantiate, you need to go find other evidence, which can be hard, really hard, almost, like we're talking about Jonathan today. Jonathan and I and Cody heard a Sasquatch smash over a tree. We never found that tree. And that tree was smashed over maybe 50 yards away from us in the bush. We didn't find it. When I did find it on the next expedition, it's because it was like 80 yards away. It was further than we thought because the Sasquatch, when they do stuff, it's so loud and so pronounced. You think, well, that's really, really close. It wasn't. It was far away. And I found it with the track and stuff. But anyways, and I'll tell you, Rich, the crunching near your tent, that's very, so many things can do that, right? You really have to know bipedal sound. You have to have it substantiated with a biped foot, so crunching near the tent is not good evidence at all. It's not good, but perhaps there's something that I don't. So I believe that you can prove their existence, however, that I don't try it. And Steve, that's the best way to move forward. Don't even worry about that stuff. And it's not even that they don't like it. It's just that your energy changes, and it's a game you're playing. They don't want to play games. They want to interact in their way. And they don't understand why you need to point that damn camera at them and lose the moment. They get confused by that. I still, the females are lighter, and the feeder comes around year after year, and her track is all 15 and a half inches. It's the same female, the same weight, and the track doesn't stay. The track doesn't change. When I see a wider track, let's say 12 inches the first time I see it. Next year it's 13 and a half. Next year it's 14. Next year it's 15 and a half. After that, 16 inch, right? So, and it's the same individual who's just growing up and getting to that 16 and a half, 17-inch track, right? That's a male. And that's how I've deduced and been learning about tracks, which, what a good, see, you guys are, has infrasound suits on some military soldiers. They use it when they're hunting. Oh, I hope they don't hunt Bigfoot, but of course the government has soldiers, and the U.S. and the military have infrasound technology, very powerful. Absolutely. I fell asleep. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you have more footage like in the Netflix? Did I do all this already? Same question. I'm sitting outside the middle of nowhere in central Michigan. For you, that's awesome. Audio is really, you got to substantiate that stuff though. You've got to get your butt out there and find the tracks, find the evidence. So you've got to do it. And even here would be a good way, just as a suggestion. I just thought of this, right? Let's say you hear something that you think is Sasquatch. The next day, get a buddy. Remember that spot you were pointing it at. Like, get real intimate with that exact spot. Get a buddy, get your butt out there, try to pinpoint the spot that you heard the sound, and then you got to go find tracks or busted trees or something to substantiate. You got to substantiate your evidence. You've got to. It's so important. Like, I mean, go around the gorillas, not chimpanzee. Like chimpanzees, I find are a very different smell. It was very gorilla-like, and how would I describe it? It's like nothing else. Like no bear smells like that. No elk. Like it's a smell that's so different. Gorillas smell nothing, and because it's a very, very original kind of odor. And I would explain it like it's so African smelling. Does that make sense? Like it smells like, it makes me think of Africa. It makes me think of something very foreign, and it's like and the smell is kind of a sweet, strong smell. That acute, again, acute and chronic. You have to know the difference between those terms. That acute smell, I could smell the sweetness of that powerful odor that's strong. Yeah, so different. It's like a even human beings don't smell like that. It's just not like, human beings have a way different smell. But yeah, it's so hard to pinpoint what that would smell like. Just gorilla smell is the only thing I can attribute to it, right? It'll be so different. It'll be a smell like, your wilderness smells. You'll be like, man, that smells nothing. So thanks, Lewis, for your kind comment there. They're so big they could ride. I don't think that. What, could they ride a moose? That's funny. I wonder if the juveniles ever ride animals for fun. Yeah, I don't think so. Because you know what a Sasquatch is? Sasquatch love being Sasquatch. They love it. I see it in the tracks. I see it in the biology. I see it in their movements. They run fast. Like they can do things that a moose can't do. You know what I mean? That a deer can't do. They can turn with their hands using trees. Like they'll get up to top speed, which is an incredibly fast thing, and then they'll use their arms to grab a tree and whip around off a tree. They love being a Sasquatch. Why would they want to go ride a deer when they can move as fast as a deer and yet have the bipedal ability to do other things, And not to say that, I mean, deer are fast. A Sasquatch can outrun a deer. I'm sorry. A Sasquatch can outrun an elk. They're just fast. They're really, really fast. You have to be able to move that kind of distance. The Sasquatch can do that, though. So, and if you could do that yourself, why would you want to go ride an animal? You wouldn't want to do because they love the wilderness. Do you understand that? They love the wildness in the elk and in the deer. Why would you want to tame that? They don't want to tame that. They love, if you love wildness, it's in you. You respect and admire that. You don't take that away. Does that make sense? I understand this so well. This is so clear to me. I hope I'm getting that through. They just love being Sasquatch. They love it. They love being patient. They love everything about the wilderness. If that's why I say you can't do this research if you don't love the wilderness because they have nothing in common with you. You know, it's yeah, it's who they are, and they're connected to the wilderness. They eat it. They're a part of it. They touch it. They can't separate themselves from the wilderness like we can. I go into my house or I put on my shoes and I'm separating myself from the wilderness. They can't do that. Do you understand how significant that is? They cannot separate themselves from the wilderness, and believe me, they hella don't want to. So I hope that helps you guys understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so do you use marbles? No, I don't use anything technology. Try to be as indigenous as possible. I'll give them a Sasquatch gave me an acorn. I have it in my drawer. It's just an acorn. I don't know what's special about it, but they gave it to me. What's special about it to me is it's just a Douglas fir, Rocky Mountain Douglas fir acorn, and it's a weird shape, and I just love it because I know a Sasquatch held it in their hand. I know a Sasquatch. You know what? Take these little breaks as like commercial. That's how we're gonna deal with these. That's just a commercial break. I'm back. But as I was saying, to know that I have this acorn that a Sasquatch held in his hand and gave it to me with his left hard hand, and he thought of me. A Sasquatch is like, I'm giving this to Todd. And he doesn't call me Todd, they call me something else. But to think he thought of me to me, and he says, I hope he took it. And then I imagine even that when I took it, he's like, yeah, he took it. You know what I mean? It's a relationship. And that, after all I've been through, after all the work it takes to do this research, knowing that that happened is such a wonderful gift that I was able to communicate. And a Sasquatch thought of me and gave me a gift. uh, wow, it just warms my heart. It makes me smile. You know, it makes me just, I can look at it and feel wonder. Every time I've been out in the presence of a Sasquatch, all the coyotes disappear and don't come back for days. Do they know Sasquatch is around? Hell yeah. The bears, I go to Sasquatch habitat, and we should see bears every day. I don't see them. I see them every second week. But if I go anywhere else, I'll see them every day. I go mountain biking around my home here and all the stuff that I do, and I see bears every day. I go into Sasquatch habitat, awesome, better wilderness where there should be more bears. I don't see them. And the wolf packs move through quickly, and the mountain lions, man, I don't know, they're not around much either. Plant that acorn, man. Oh, damn, Adam, I don't want to plant it. Oh man, maybe I should plant, but I don't want to plant it. One with nature. That's a good point. Damn. I'll think about it. Hi from Australia. Hi back, Bridget. Happiest wife ever. Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, no, not Canada all the way. Sorry. Yeah, I love the land and stuff. I'm not much for borders. Um, I've been all over North America. I love North America. I really love it. To go down to some place like to go down to the Mayan Riviera in Mexico and to think that I don't have any rights to protect that beautiful land because it's not mine because I'm not Mexican hurts my heart. It's that this planet is my home, and I would never have somebody. The Americans, mostly Americans that come up on my expeditions, this is their home. I don't say, hey, welcome to Canada. Of course I do say, and it's beautiful and I love it here. But and it's my home because I live here, but it's not mine. I don't know. I'd be like, this is yeah. I'm not. I don't want to do that. I don't feel that way. Uh, and I just like being that way. So he was excited as you were about the apples. Yeah, yeah, right. So thanks for that, Amy. Get the acorn bronzed. That's good advice. I'm laughing because it's excellent advice. I don't want to though. I just love it the way it is. Thanks, guys. So you guys are these are awesome things. Plant it, bronze it. This is awesome. Yeah. When searching in the woods, how come thermal isn't used more? My thermal camera wing was a piece of crap. It's like it films in 480p. Took like 3 minutes to turn on. It's expensive, and I don't know. And it wasn't even mine. I had to borrow it. And they're not tough. You damage the damn things and they're garbage. I wreck cameras all the time. I cannot afford to wreck. Those things are like 3, 4 grand for just a little piece of crap. I can't afford that. And they're terrible with the battery. They take 15, well, honestly, they take 8 batteries, and you can't have them on for more than an hour. My cameras, the ones that I use, the Sony all-weather one that I have, my battery lasts me 6 hours while recording. So I can hit record and go. Even you can't do that with the darn thermals either. You can't hit record and go. It'll use way more energy, and then it doesn't have the data for. I don't know. It doesn't work. Those things suck. So okay. Hi from Oregon. I love it. Are they too big, strong, and unapproachable for us humans to be able to capture one and steady? No, it's not about their size. Well, and big and strong. Maybe it is about their size a little bit, but it's because they're so amazing. It's because they're so. It's really their intelligence and their abilities more so than, well, strength has to do with it, but their ability to move and love nature and be connected to it and move as a cooperation, and to know what a squirrel chirp means, to know why the deer are moving, and when the sun rises, how the wind's going to change and where to be. It's a thousand things like that I understand what real tracking is, and it's not looking at tracks. It's not following footprints around. That's one dimension of something that's four-dimensional. Literally, it's one dimension of something that's four-dimensional. So when you're out there and you're following footprints, sorry, that's not tracking. The natives have always taught me that, and I've seen it forever, and I really understand it. I really get what real tracking is. So, hey, Brian filming with Aussies, man, and they're so out here. Yeah, I love Australia. I'd love to go there, man. I got connections to get out there. I'd love to. It's got to come. Australia, wow. Hi from Baza, Brisbane. Hey, Todd. I'd like to get in touch and share my findings and be your Australia correspondent. How can I get in touch? Bigfootencounter@gmail.com. And I would love to have that. I would love to have that. I would love to have somebody in Utah. I'd love to have somebody in Oregon, Washington, Alberta, yeah, Brisbane. Let's do it. So it's really, I'll give you the tools. You got to run with. I'll lay it out on the line. Here's my documentary. Here's all the evidence that I have. Now do you think they send crows out to see if anyone's home? The hilltop birds. The happiest wife ever. They don't need to do that because they know what the crows mean. They don't need to send crows out. The crows are there, and what the crows do and how the crows react to things. I'm telling you, there's some amazing stuff going on between Sasquatch ravens and Sasquatch and crows. And I'm not saying not one little bit that there's a Sasquatch has got them trained and stuff. I have evidence of that. But I've seen like ravens not go near apples. And like they want to, and there's apples and they want to, and but they won't go near them because the Sasquatch are there and saying, touch those apples. And I mean, like the Sasquatch are a mile off and the ravens are 150 yards out and they're like, we want those apples, and they're crazy. But the Sasquatch are there and they don't touch those apples. What's going on? What is going on? And I'm telling you, expeditioners have seen it. I've seen it. The crows come around. They want to get to those apples, and the crows will come and rip the apples apart some days. And then they come back the next day and there's apples up and they are not touching those apples, and they make weird sounds. They're making this sound that is, I've never heard a crow make that sound. And you got to know crows are so smart. And there's a specific meaning. And now I hear that sound in Nordag. I hear that sound in radium, right? It's 500 miles away from one research site. They've never made that sound. I have it recorded. They're doing a weird thing. And they only do it when the Sasquatch are around, in my theory, and it's quite conclusive to me. The apples are getting taken. When the apples aren't getting taken, the crows go take them, the ravens go take them. And when the Sasquatch, do you see the video of the Sasquatch on IMAX? No, I did not. Chain reaction. What Sasquatch? In my experiences, they only use what they need the land to move for the area to recover. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Thank you for being patient during that commercial break. We're calling this commercial break. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Do you think there's anything to do with this portal, like Dr. J Chalks? No, not at all. So yeah, no portals. No, I actually went to university. I know about fourth dimension. I understand how that works. And three-dimensional beings don't exist on a four-dimensional plane. When people start talking about portals and fourth dimension stuff, you better shh, because you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't make any sense. Two-dimensional beings can't exist on a three-dimensional plane any more than a three. You know what I mean? Like the science of it, you're just talking, oh, they go to the fourth dimension. No, man, you don't understand what I'm talking about. So there's real scientists doing real work, and we look like dumbasses when we start talking about dimensional portals and stuff like that. We do. It damages our credibility with real science. So before you go talking about those things, do some darn research about them. And a portal, is that paranormal? Yes. Let's make, what happens when you take something that's paranormal and you make it more paranormal? Is that going to help us? No. Is that going to attract mainstream science? No. Is that going to legitimize us? No. So let's get out of that stuff, right? Who has ever, now I got to prove portals are real? Come on. So it's too much. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not opening my mind up enough to it. Maybe I'm the dumbass here. I don't know. So uh, don't don't take my word for it. Maybe I'm backwards about it, but that's my opinion. Take it as you will. And if you have a different opinion, respect. Total respect. Have your different opinion. That's cool. So you know what I don't like? I don't like people that are just like agreeing with every damn thing I say and kissing my ass. I don't like that. So I want to hear if you have the same opinion as me. I want to know what went on in your mind to substantiate that opinion, and question me and push me, because that's how when we're holding hands and singing and tra la la, there's nothing going on there. So yeah, let's question each other. Let's move together in a cooperative face. Somebody says here, Sabrina, do you think Dr. J is lying? No, I never said that. I never said lying. No. So, Brandon Hall, we recognize that the Native American people have amazing insight and wisdom on Mother Earth. Thank you for your kind words to Todd. We appreciate your presence this evening. Yes, thank you. That's my girl, Ontario ITC Research is my girl, Danielle. So, where are we at here? What are your thoughts on the missing 411 talks? Oh, missing 411. I have a lot of respect for David Pilates and his 411 research. If it's legit, I know about one of the things that he did that's totally real and legit. Not mine. We do very different stuff. So he researches stuff that I'm not interested in, situations and good success, and he studies Sasquatch that have maybe taken people and harmed people, and have no interest in that topic. I have no interest in that topic whatsoever. If I feel the Sasquatch are aggressive and angry towards me, which happens most of the time, then I don't go near those Sasquatch and I leave. It's what happened in California. So if the Sasquatch are hostile and angry, I'm done. Have a good day. And there's a big difference between live interactions and assertion and primate aggression behavior and actual violent behavior towards me. And you'll get the difference. Astrophysicist. It was proven by science of a flea that was able to travel to different dimension. Different dimension. I don't know. It's pretty not my field of expertise. So search YouTube for Bigfoot. Cool. Blaze of Silver says, if I knew the story to individual tree structures, it was to be communication, like we're all down by the river. On this is my territory. Stay out. And Sasquatch tribes don't understand. Yeah. So I think what Blaze in Theory is talking about is if we knew the story about tree structures. So I have a theory that they mean you're okay here and don't go over there. But yeah, so that's cool. Brandon Hall, protecting the land and the waters and the animals. I love that. Harmony, sustainability. Yeah. So am I. I'm about that immensely. I'm about even people connecting back to nature, right? So, and I feel like my number one thing about this discovery is I see what's going on this beautiful planet. The forest fires are terrifying me. The changes that are happening in the oceans. I've seen the degradation of the oceans. I'm terrified of the future of this beautiful planet and how it's been so badly damaged. I can't do much about it. I'm one little guy, but if I can facilitate that change, and that's why I work so hard. That's my number one reason for this discovery is the Sasquatch can make a greater change in this world than I ever can. And when they're proven and when they come out, when they start communicating, I think the change that they can help facilitate is far greater. I know the change they can facilitate is a million times bigger than anything I can ever hope for. I'm even, you could even say for a fact, the reason I'm famous is because of Sasquatch. I'd be nothing if it wasn't for them. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Here, okay, this is gonna be the last question of the day because this question is, I don't like this question. I don't know if I even want to answer this, but I'm gonna. So Parkway Hippie, have you ever encountered? Have you ever considered an encounter nude? Okay, so yeah, in Montana, just having some trouble. This really happened. I was having a lot of trouble. I was walking around barefoot a lot. My feet were getting worn into it. So I was doing good. And the Sasquatch were just not getting that next step towards me. So I did it. I did it right in front of another rear up on that hill, and they wouldn't come down. And it was days and days and days, and they weren't interacting with us. And I was going to have to go home after I'd been out there for, I'd spent, on and off for months. I'd been coming out there. It was so far for me to get to Montana. And I just needed to get to that next level. So I did. I really did it. You guys you think you just couldn't ask me another one of these questions, but I did. I right in front of this female researcher colleague of mine, I took off all my clothes and I did a little speech with them. I remember spinning around and I was like, that's it, going up there naked. So I did. I went up and it was just a crazy day. Maybe I shouldn't even be telling this story. Is it funny? People do nude beaches. I don't think it's so obscene. Where I knew the Sasquatch were at, and I went up there naked, and my energy changed. It was weird, and it was a strange thing to do. But yeah, so there you go. I opened up. I went up and did, and nothing came of it. Nothing significant happened. It didn't do anything, and I've never done it since. But you get you get a little weird. The grizzly man was pretty weird. He got weird because he was alone so much, and you get strange and breakthroughs. It's so hard to explain because being out there and with nature and being alone, you just you get weird, and in a beautiful way. I think a lot. So just you start thinking differently, and you forget your paradigms, and you loosen up. And so I did it anyways. But so that's good. Hi Todd. Acorns come from oak trees, I believe. There's things, no oak trees. Well, yeah, you're right. It's whatever. It's not an acorn. It's a pine cone. I called it. Anyway, don't get semantics with me. I find that very annoying. So, it's the seed that grew the tree. So it's a pine cone, right? So that's what we call them. People call things different things. It's all good. Don't get into the little. If I even mind, well, don't worry about that stuff. Have you ever come across random staircase in the wilderness that had no trace of any building or structures? No. Nice. Yeah, no. No, no, no. So see now they don't wear clothes. Yeah, and they don't wear clothes. Maybe it's not so weird. I don't know. I scared them off. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, naked to free. Nude, yeah. Sorry guys. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know, but it's honest. It's true. Sometimes over and over, busted my ass, and I had to leave. And it was, even I was working with Survivor Man. He wants results from Montana. It was frustrating. So you do crazy things. But do you think birds communicate with Sasquatch? Well, I know birds communicate in a way. They'll react in ways that Sasquatch will identify as there's something over there, and maybe even more specifically, is that a bear over there? Is that because I know squirrels can do that. So anyhow, thanks so much, guys, uh, for tuning in this week. Again, thanks for so much with these amazing questions. So I look forward to next week and a Saturday video up and stuff. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. You guys are awesome. I love doing this show. It's such good therapy. It's so good for my heart to do this show. So thank you so much, guys. Please tune in next week. And yeah, you guys have a great week, and we'll talk soon. Bye.